I say, "We're getting divorced," Jason said as he handed me the papers. I knew this day would come sooner or later. "Fine, let's get divorced," I replied. "What?" I calmly started filling out the divorce papers right in front of him. "All right then, I'll fight you on this," he said, looking surprised. Even though he gave me the papers, he seemed stunned. "You don't understand, do you? Without me, you'll be all alone," he said. Yeah, I'll be alone. Are you done now? Because I'm busy packing," I said. "Packing? What are you talking about? Moving out? What's going on?" "It's simple. I'm divorcing you and moving out. This is the perfect time to end things," I said. "My name is Sarah. I married Jason a few years ago. We don't have kids, and we both work. My parents died in an accident during my first year on the job, so I've been on my own ever since. When we got married, I was truly grateful. I thought we'd create a happy family together. I wanted kids and dreamed of a bright future, but life turned out very differently." After the wedding, Jason slowly became distant and cold. "Sarah, without me, you'd be completely alone again," he'd say during every little argument. He loved using my loneliness against me, and we always ended up fighting. He constantly complained about everything I did. "Is this stir-fried veggies for dinner? Feels like an old person's meal. I called you earlier to ask what you wanted, and you said, whatever." "Yeah, but a good wife should think about what her husband wants and cook something better. I wanted paella today." "Then you should have said so. You'd complain no matter what I made." What did you say? I work just as much as you do, and I'm the only one handling the housework. Don't act like that. You told me before we got married that you enjoyed doing housework." "I do, but if you're always criticizing me, I don't feel like doing it anymore." "Oh, I see. What does that mean?" "Nothing, I just think you're being a bit too bold." "Bold? If you're going to talk like that, it makes me lose respect for you, and I don't like how you treat me either. You're always looking for something to argue about. I don't want to deal with a husband like that." And there it was. I knew what was coming next. He'd bring up the fact that I have no family and use it to make me feel small. Just one of Jason's favorite ways to put me down. "Maybe having kids will help with your loneliness. It's about time we had kids too." Jason always says this after an argument. When we first got married, I wanted a baby right away, but the loving and kind husband I married disappeared so quickly. Now, he's a man who complains about everything. I started doubting whether I wanted to have children with him. It's true that I have no family except for Jason, but before I met him, I lived on my own just fine. I've saved enough money to support myself if I left him. Sometimes, I'd rather be alone again than live with someone who constantly threatens and belittles me. If we had a child, I'd be stuck in this abusive relationship, and our child would witness it too. The thought of that made me realize I just couldn't move forward with Jason, but he didn't understand that at all. "Before we got married, you said you wanted kids right away, so why are you hesitating now? Are you lying to me? Isn't this fraud?" he said. "If that's how you feel, maybe you should try making me feel safe enough to want kids with you. Do you think I want kids while you're always complaining about my cooking, my housework, how I fold the clothes?" "I'm not complaining, I'm just being honest about how I feel." "That's exactly the problem. You always twist everything, and now you're saying it's because I lost my parents when I was young, aren't you?" Jason smirked, clearly mocking me. "I'm not making fun of you," he said, but his smug grin said otherwise. And then there was my mother-in-law. Every time I visited her, she would ask, "Any grandchildren yet?" Jason always joined in. "Yeah, you should tell her too. She's not helping at all." "Sarah, what's going on?" my mother-in-law would ask, but I never had the courage to say anything. "Well, I guess you two need to talk things over," she said. I talk to her all the time, but this woman, Jason started. "Don't call her this woman, just talk it out, okay?" she interrupted. Jason's mom wasn't a bad person. She'd been living alone since her husband passed, and I could tell she really wanted grandchildren. Her constant questions made it harder for me to share how I truly felt about Jason, so I stayed silent. Then one day, my mother-in-law had an accident. Jason called me, and I rushed to the hospital, leaving work early. I got there before he did. "I'm so sorry for troubling you," she said. "Mother, are you okay?" I asked, worried. "I'm fine, I just broke my leg," she replied. "Oh no," I said, and tears started streaming down my face. "You don't have to cry like that," she said, trying to calm me down, but I couldn't stop. "I'm sorry, I was so scared I might lose you too, just like I lost my parents. I was so worried on the way here, I said, tears in my eyes. Oh, I'm sorry to have made you worry, and I'm sorry this brought back those painful memories, my mother-in-law replied gently. That was the first time she and I had talked so openly about anything. You should go home now, she said after a while. But I'll wait for Jason. I'll go home with him, I said. She sighed. He's not coming. You might as well head home. That's not true, I replied, trying to reassure myself. I'm his mother, I know. It's sad, isn't it? She was right. Jason never showed up, even after visiting hours ended. When I got home, I found him sitting on the couch, watching TV. What are you doing? I asked, frustrated. What do you mean? He replied casually. You called me about your mom's accident. Why didn't you come to the hospital? I figured you were going. One person's enough, right? She's fine anyway. It's not like it's a big deal. She's your only mother, I snapped. Stop nagging and make me some food. I'm starving. You didn't eat? Of course not. Why should I spend money on food when you're here to cook? I'm not cooking. I'm going to bed, I said firmly. Don't talk to me like that. You know I'll divorce you if you make me angry, he shouted. Then do it, I said, walking away. I was hungry, but I stayed in the bathroom to avoid cooking for him. The next morning, I woke up to find Jason gone. From that day on, he never came home. I assumed he went to his parents' house. I didn't chase after him. After work, I went to visit my mother-in-law at the hospital. I didn't mention Jason. I didn't want to worry her while she was recovering. I visited her every day during her stay. Thank you, Sarah, she said one day. I know you and Jason are having trouble, but I appreciate you being here for me despite that. I'm sorry, I said quietly. You don't need to apologize. I can guess what's happening. I know Jason must have done something. I didn't know how to respond, so I stayed silent. A woman's intuition is usually right, she added. He's the reason you've hesitated to have kids, isn't he? It's okay. I've been pushing you about grandchildren, and I'm sorry for that. I didn't mean to add to your burden. I'm sorry I couldn't meet your expectations, I said, my voice soft. As we talked, the doctor came in to say her recovery would take more time and she'd need help while her leg healed. I offered to assist her and even arranged to work remotely for a while. It took some convincing, but she eventually agreed. On the day of her discharge, I picked her up and took her home. I assumed Jason would be at work, but the thought of running into him later made me nervous. Actually, Jason and I had a fight, I admitted. He left the house, so today will be the first time I've seen him in a while. My mother-in-law's face grew serious. I see. I'm sorry to hear that. Why are you apologizing? Because Jason is my son. It must be uncomfortable for you to hear me criticize him. Not at all, I said. Well, he's the kind of son who never visits me, even when I'm in the hospital. What? He didn't come to see you at all? No, not once, she said calmly. I was horrified. My mother-in-law had been in the hospital for 2 weeks, and Jason hadn't bothered to visit her even once. Well, he's not that sweet boy anymore, is he? She said with a small, sad smile. She took a deep breath. Sarah, listen carefully. Jason doesn't have a key to this house. That means he's not here now, and it's okay. Let's focus on you and me first. A week later, I was back at the house I shared with Jason, packing my things. As I was finishing, I heard the front door open. Oh, just in time. I wanted to talk to you, I said. I'm busy. How's Mom doing? He asked. Why don't you visit her and find out? I shot back. Why should I? You're taking care of her, right? That's your job. If you don't do as I say, we're getting divorced. He handed me divorce papers. All right, let's get a divorce, I said calmly, filling out the papers right in front of him. Fine, but I'll fight it, he replied, looking oddly stunned. You don't get it, do you? He sneered. Without me, you'll be all alone. Yeah, I'll be all alone. Is that all? I'm busy packing to move out. Where are you moving to? It's obvious, isn't it? I'm divorcing you and leaving. This is the perfect time. Who's going to take care of Mom then? He demanded. Don't worry, I'll take care of her, I replied. Jason laughed bitterly. You're an idiot. Do you think looking after my mom will get you her inheritance? When she dies, I'll inherit everything as her only son. You're not my son anymore, a voice said behind us. We both turned to see Jason's mother standing there, leaning on crutches. Mother, why are you here? Jason stammered. I needed help, so Sarah brought me here to move out. She's been taking care of me, unlike you. My only child is Sarah now. I don't need a son who only cares about my money. You won't inherit a single penny. Jason's face turned red with anger. I'm divorcing her, so she won't be entitled to anything either. I'm in the process of adopting someone, his mother said firmly. What? I'm also cutting you out of my will. You won't get a cent of my inheritance. Jason's voice rose. You knew I only wanted kids because having grandchildren would secure my inheritance. His mother stared at him coldly. And that's exactly why you're losing everything. I told you, we need kids now. You're hopeless. You're more of an idiot than anyone can imagine. If you have a child, I'll make sure they're disqualified from inheriting anything. Jason shouted angrily, trying to grab my mother-in-law, but I quickly stepped in and pushed him away. I took my mother-in-law's hand, and we left the house. Hey, are you his wife? A woman stood in front of the house. Oh, so you're the one he's having an affair with, I said. What? Well, yes, for now. Did you sign the divorce papers? Please leave this house as soon as possible. I see, I replied. So, Jason had brought his girlfriend into our home. I was shocked, but I wasn't upset about the affair. In fact, I was excited about the idea of getting alimony from them. Jason came running after us, but froze when he saw me standing with his girlfriend. So, you were cheating on me, huh? I said, thanks for that. I'll make sure to get my alimony now. Jason was speechless as my mother-in-law and I got in the car and left, leaving him standing there with his girlfriend. We went straight to the city office to file the divorce papers. Then, I demanded alimony from both of them. As promised, they tried to make excuses, but the girlfriend's social media posts quickly exposed their relationship. They both ended up transferring large sums of money to me. It turned out Jason's girlfriend was also after my mother-in-law's inheritance. Once she realized Jason wouldn't get anything, she disappeared from his life. I guess they were both after money in the end. Jason came to my mother-in-law's house several times, begging to get back together, but she refused to see him. I had already blocked his number, so he couldn't reach me. He even tried calling from unknown numbers, but I ignored those too. Since then, my mother-in-law's leg has fully healed, and she's doing great. I'm so grateful to her for everything, especially for encouraging me to leave Jason. Now, years later, I'm still happily living with my mother-in-law. I'm no longer alone. We don't need to be connected by blood to be a family. As long as we love and care for each other, we can create our own family. I'll continue to live my life with my mother-in-law. It's unforgivable to take your wife's kindness for granted and treat her poorly. Jason's reasons for wanting kids were selfish and wrong. He'll never find happiness that way. I hope Sarah and her mother-in-law will live happily ever after. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed this story. See you in the next video.